Hi, welcome to Astrology for Gann traders. My name's Olga Morales. Now, today I'm going to do something a little mystical, magical, and most of you know me because I'm a Gann astrologer. I study the stock market, Gann's work. I'm a researcher in this field, but I have a very strong metaphysical, esoteric bent to me. And that's what happens when you go down the WD Gann rabbit hole. It takes you to many areas of discovery. I was always into the magical and mystical. I've traveled a lot and I've always gone to sacred sites. I've been to Egypt 4 times. I've gone to many stone circles, Stonehenge, Avery. So I know that the ancients encoded their cycles in these places in stone for us to remember. Like we can go on the field and we can start measuring. For example, here, this is the Merry Maidens in Cornwall that I visited last year doing a tour with Haley Ramsey. And, of course, as soon as I get there, the first thing I do is I count the stones. And, of course, this particular one had 19 standing stones. Wow, I knew that number. That number is so important for financial cycles, stock market, anything to do with the property cycle. It's to do with the weather patterns. So it's just an important cycle, and they left it for us. All right. So let's get started. I want to share this with you because it's really important. So they were called 19 Merry Maidens, and the story is that the Merry Maidens, 19 of them were turned to stone because they were dancing on a Sunday, right? And but we know, if you know anything about cycles, which I'll explain to you, that 19 is very important as a solar lunar calendar. Okay, the sun and the moon meet there every 19 years. It's called a metonic cycle. They already knew about it. That's how they knew that if there was say a full, we'll say there was a new moon here at that point, that exactly 19 years later, it would be at that point again. Okay. In the zodiac, we know it returns to the same degree in the zodiac and the same day. So it was how they based their calendar, right? So this is what it looks like, an aerial shot. You can count them yourselves, and that had this center axis as well, right? Now, we went to another place called Boscawen. I probably pronounced that incorrectly. Again, 19 around the circle, but there's also the center stone, which was quite on an angle. And probably, there's a picture of me. You can see the angle of this center stone, probably pointing to the North Star, all right, or something that was important to the people in the Bronze Age, right? You might be even older than the Bronze Age. This circle was erected, the same thing, 19 stones, one center, I believe, pointing to a North Star. Now, what is this all about, Olga? Why are you telling us this? Well, I'm a financial astrologer. Gann had a financial timetable which is based on 18 and 19 years. So he knew that the ancients were using it. Obviously, it's part of the whole solar lunar calendar, but it's even encoded in our tarot cards. So these are the major arcana cards. For the moon is the number 18, and for the sun is number 19. So they're already encoded in these cards, playing cards, so you wouldn't forget. That's how a lot of the ancient protected the knowledge in games. Roulette. Roulette has 36 numbers. Well, we have 36 astrological decans. And then you get the playing card, obviously the decks in the playing cards of the tarot all are coded with cosmic planetary cycles and drafts. We get the drafts, we get the sun and the black and white checkerboards. They're all based on the sun and the moon. Okay, black is the moon and white is the sun. Okay, like the yin yang. But what we've got here, we have between 18 and 19 years, there are the Saros cycle is 18 years, 10 and 10 to 11 days. So that has to do with the eclipses, okay? Each eclipse belongs to a Saros cycle. It has a number and they belong to families and they can go through 1,000 a years, okay? Then we have a nodal cycle, which is all to do with the lunar nodes and the moon. And this is an 18.61 year cycle. And this, if you looking to Gann more, which is part of my what I teach, we have this in property cycles as well, real estate cycles. My friend Phil Anderson does a lot of work on that, and this is about also the swings, the declination of the moon has times when it's at maximum declination. They're called major lunar standstills. And then after 9 years, half of the cycle has minor lunar standstills. And that's really encoded at Stonehenge. I'll probably do another video on Stonehenge, okay? And then we have the metonic cycle, which is basically when the sun and the moon come back to the same degree in the zodiac every 19 years. So if you have a new moon on a particular day, it'll come back. And I'll show you this in the next slide. So 18 to 19 years, I'm just repeating the cycle. There's Saros cycle, there's a nodal cycle, and there's a metonic cycle. So let's have a look here, what I've done. This year, on the 3rd of March, we will have a total lunar eclipse, okay, which is a full moon. And you can see that the sun is at 12 degrees of Pisces 53, and then the moon is at 12 Virgo 53. So this is a Virgo full moon, all right? We're in the center, the Earth's in the center here. So that's the lunar eclipse. And then if I go back 19 years exactly, on the 3rd of March 2007, again, there was a lunar eclipse at the exact same degree, right? There's only like 3 minutes off. In the yeah, in the exact same on 19 years ago. So you can see why this is so special. And it's not some random, choice of stones. It's actually encoded ancient knowledge of this cycle because they needed to know these, especially the eclipses. Eclipses were like omens for them, and they were very particular in trying to calculate when they were going to occur. I mean, Stonehenge is essentially an eclipse calculator, including the nodal cycle of the swings of the moon, right? The major and minor standstills of the moon is very important. The moon has a big influence on weather and tides, and also just general conditions. Okay, so this is important for us because if you look back 19 years, 2007 was a pretty interesting year in the stock market. So maybe have a look back and see what you can say. I'm not going to give you too much in this one. I do have a private OMS planetary watch group and where I share more information. And I also have lessons if you're a beginner. I have a level one. I also have books that some are more esoteric, the areas that I got into because of me going down the Gann rabbit hole. But you can see how important this cycle is. It goes back thousands of years. It's encoded in stone. It's wonderful. I hope you look into it. And yeah, here's me at Stonehenge. I've been to Stonehenge quite a few times. This was in at sunrise, and I've also been there for sunset, and I've also been there for the summer solstice. And very special places. If you get a chance to go, I highly recommend it. The stones may, if you go at certain times and you pay a little bit extra, you can get amongst the stones and you can feel their energy. You can feel the energy under your feet. It's really special, and especially when you go at sunrise or sunset, maybe more with sunrise, they get energized by the sun. And so it's really good. And a lot of people have healings at these places. because remember the stones have a lot of quartz in them, and you can feel it. You can feel it. So, thanks for listening. And yeah, there will be more to come. I love traveling, so I've got a bit of a journal of things that I've experienced. So, thanks for listening.